news in English with Eris Stewart. Good morning.
Good morning, Patrice.
The headlines.
Tensions in Strait of Hormuz raise fears of oil price surge and imported inflation. Prime Minister warns of economic impact from Iran crisis. Mauritius holds high-level meetings on oil and supply risks. Rerouting plan implemented for Mauritians stranded in Jeddah. Iran led by interim council as question of supreme leader succession looms. Jose Aruna Salom and Tourism Authority Board members revoked. And in world news, tensions rise over Strait of Hormuz as tankers caught in crossfire. In sports news, Mauritian clubs advance at volleyball championships in Seychelles. Military escalation in Iran and rising tensions in the Strait of Hormuz, through which around 20% of the world's oil transits, are raising serious concerns. Any disruption in this strategic zone would immediately drive prices up, with direct repercussions on the purchasing power of Mauritians. Starting with oil prices, Mauritius would have to face the consequences of a potential increase, as stated yesterday by Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam. Beyond oil, maritime transport costs could also rise, and any global increase would translate into imported inflation. In this context, two high-level meetings will be held today, one of the PPC and another of the STC, with the Minister of Commerce to decide on the way forward. The Prime Minister says he remains confident in his ability to put the country's economy back on track, even though the current margin for manoeuvre is limited. Dr. Navin Ramgoolam was speaking yesterday in Redjui during the anniversary congress marking the 90th anniversary of the Labour Party. The head of government stressed that strikes on Iran would have consequences, including a possible rise in oil prices. He also highlighted the contribution of the Labour Party to the country's development. More details in this report.
To mark its 90th anniversary, the Labour Party gathered supporters at the Auditorium Octavier in Redjui. This anniversary congress provided an opportunity to reflect on the party's key achievements since its founding in 1936. The Secretary General recalled that the history of the Labour Party is closely linked to that of the country. Over the past 90 years, the Labour Party has contributed to the country's political, social and economic development. For Patrick Assiavaden, the Labour Party is above all a philosophy of life. He stressed the need to draw lessons from the 10 years spent in opposition. Over the past 90 years, the Labour Party has shaped the country's history. Its key achievements are the introduction of universal suffrage and free healthcare, said the Prime Minister. Commenting on the current economic situation, Dr. Navin Ramgoolam expressed confidence in the government's ability to meet today's challenges. The theme chosen for this Congress is 90 years of commitment focused on the future. The Labour Party's upcoming projects are the construction of its new headquarters, which is set to begin this year, and a review of the party's constitution.
In response to disruptions caused by the crisis in the Middle East, a rerouting solution has been put in place for Mauritian passengers currently stranded in Jeddah. According to Minister Shakil Mohammed, they will be transferred free of charge to Kenya. Air Mauritius is then expected to deploy an Airbus A350 to ensure their repatriation to Mauritius. This exceptional operation will therefore take place in two stages, Jeddah to Kenya, followed by Kenya to Mauritius. Meanwhile, Turkish Airlines has also indicated its readiness to assist with the repatriation effort. For his part, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ritesh Ramphul, stated that around 500 Mauritians are currently stranded in Saudi Arabia and Dubai. And staying on the subject, who will succeed Ali Khamenei? This is undoubtedly the question on the minds of many Iranians. It's no small task, given that the late Supreme Leader headed the country for 36 years. Yesterday, a leadership council was formed. Cleric Ali Reza Arafi, Guardian Council member President Masoud Pezeshkian, and Chief Justice Ghulam Hossein Mohseni Ejai will jointly lead Iran until a successor is appointed. It is the Assembly of Experts that is responsible for selecting the next Supreme Leader. More details with Lovina Sophie in this report by Pranav Bihari.
Yes, it is an assembly of 88 senior Islamic jurists and clerics elected by universal suffrage for an 8-year term. Its main responsibility is to appoint a new supreme leader in the event of death, resignation, or incapacity. Potential candidates must first be reviewed and approved by the Guardian Council, a constitutional body tasked with vetting candidates for key political positions. Under constitutional criteria, the supreme leader must be a qualified Islamic jurist who is just and pious, well-versed in political and social affairs and capable of leadership and sound judgment. According to Al Jazeera, Ali Khamenei had already proposed 4 names prior to his death. Several other media outlets have mentioned his son, Mojtaba Khamenei. However, the 56-year-old has never held any government office. The name of Hassan Khomeini, the grandson of Ruhollah Khomeini, the founder of the Islamic Republic, has also been cited. Ghulam Hossein Mohseni Eji, the Chief Justice who currently sits on the Temporary Leadership Council, is also considered a contender. Another figure mentioned is Reza Pahlavi, the son of the last Shah of Iran, who has been highly active on social media since the start of anti-regime protests in January. Living in exile in Washington, he said in a video posted on X on Saturday, shortly after the first strike on Tehran, that decisive moments lie ahead for the country. He called on Iranians to overthrow the Islamic regime and urged the armed forces to protect the people rather than the ruling authorities in order to ensure a stable transition. Otherwise, he warned, you will sink with Khamenei's ship.
And in other news, Jose Aruna Salom is no longer the part-time chairman of the board of the Tourism Authority. He was dismissed from his official duties on Saturday following a decision taken on Friday evening. At the same time, the 3 other board members were also revoked. Jose Aruna Salom's behavior toward certain employees of the Tourism Authority has been called into question. It's recalled that an employee lodged a complaint with the police and the Labour Office on the 12th of February. She denounced the conduct of the former part-time chairman. Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Richard Duval is travelling this evening to the International Tourism Fair in Berlin, Germany. Upon his return, a new board of directors will be appointed. And it's 9 7:07. You're listening to RM1. We move to international news. At least 3 tankers were damaged off the Gulf Coast after US and Israeli strikes on Iran triggered Iranian retaliation, exposing merchant vessels to the risk of collateral damage, according to shipping sources and officials. Risks to commercial shipping have surged over the past 24 hours, with more than 200 vessels, including oil and liquefied gas tankers, dropping anchor around the Strait of Hormuz and surrounding waters, shipping data showed. Iran has meanwhile announced that it has closed navigation through the strategic waterway. And finally, in sports, at the 30th Club Championships in the Seychelles, 2 of the 5 volleyball Mauritian men's teams have already secured qualification for the quarterfinals, QBV BC and Orange Amitié of Rodrigues. Both teams have so far recorded a perfect run with 2 wins from 2 matches. For their final group stage today, the reigning champions will face Madagascar at 10 a.m. and later at 5:30, Port Louis Firestar will take on Noboys of the Seychelles. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so